The man who doesn't read good books is no better than the man who can't. Reading should be fun and not a chore, because life is too short to read boring books. It's not a matter of how many books you've read, it's a matter of how many of them you enjoyed and learned from. Whether you are starting a new genre, trying to get back into reading, or just tired of wasting your time and money on books where you go, why did I even buy this book? This is for you, because I am going to be sharing practical tips on how to not just finish but love a book. In this video, I'm going to show you what to check before you buy a book, how to dodge a boring book, and my personal strategy for choosing books that I enjoy reading, and also for knowing if a book is worth your money and the time. I mean, we still won't make mistakes with respect to this sometimes, but then if it works most of the time, then it's something worth implementing. Tip number one, know your reader's style. Know your reading style. There are no bad books, it's just know your style. What books do you like? Are you someone who loves reading only novels? Are you someone who loves reading non-fiction? Are you someone who loves reading both, or you're someone who doesn't even read neither and you're watching this video because you probably just want to start reading? In this case, I may recommend that you start with fiction, or even if it's non-fiction, pick one genre. If you're not feeling it, drop it, pick another, then pick another, pick another. By the time you're on your third or fourth read, you're definitely going to find one that resonates with you so much. For instance, even if you enjoy reading fiction books, you might prefer African literature over English fantasy. Even if you enjoy reading non-fiction books, you might enjoy self-help. Someone who enjoys fiction book, are you a plot-driven reader? Character-driven. That plot twist, like the outline of the story is giving, oh, I didn't see this coming. Oh, there was a punch there, you know. But a character-driven reader is somebody who is more focused on how the characters of the book are, like what they've been through, you know, all those kind of stuff. So for me now, I think that I am more of a plot-driven reader. So I'd rather a book that focuses on the outline of the story than the people, the characters of the story. I don't know. I hope you get. So because of that, the book I may enjoy, you may not enjoy it, and the book that I may consider a good book may be a one-star rating for you. And that's why I said there are no bad books. They are just not your style. If you're wondering, how do I find my reading style without having to read and drop 100 books before finding my reading style? Tip number 2 is for you. Stalk reviews smartly. Book reviews and TikTok 5 and 6. If you find around, trust me, there's someone who has read that book on TikTok. Just go to TikTok, type the title of the book and add review. You're going to see videos pop up. Now you have to be careful about reading the reviews of this book, or listening rather to the review of this book, because it is a very difficult thing to review books objectively. Usually when people review books, especially on social media platforms like this, they are being subjective with respect to the fact of them putting their opinions and their emotions and what they've passed through and the kind of book they enjoy or not in deciding whether it's a good read and portraying it to you as something that you should try or not. So try to listen to the book, right? And also, even though they are being subjective in their review, try to be objective in your listening. So it helps you to know if it's something that you should read or not. You can also go to Google or websites where these books are and check out the ratings of this book, and don't just judge it by the ratings. Don't just say, oh, because this book has plenty one-star rating, it's a bad book. You might want to read the reviews too. So the reason somebody rates it 1 star is probably because they don't enjoy that kind of book that you might actually enjoy. So if somebody writes something like, if you love a book that has to do with family life, betrayal, you're going to enjoy the book. Or you see a review that says not for you if you did not enjoy The Bread Seller. Now if you read a book titled The Bread Seller, or you've seen reviews about The Bread Seller, you can use reviews like that to decide if you want to read a book or not. Are you getting me? You can even find a reviewer that matches your taste. They love what you love, hate what you hate. In that case, you can pick. You can trust that person's judgment. You can trust that stranger's judgment. After you have done this and you have decided to give the book an e-read or to buy it in a bookstore, the next thing is to move to tip number 3. Use the skimming through mode. After you have read the reviews about the book, the next thing to do is to preview the book. Now, previewing the book is like reading the first few pages of the book and just check if you are feeling the vibe, right? But the hack is to move to the middle, to skim through the middle of the book and then move to the last page of the book, skim through the last sentences of the book. And if you drop the book and you feel like you're being drawn towards it, you don't want a situation whereby you are reading a book and then you are counting the number of pages left for you to finish reading that book. There are some books you might not enjoy reading the e-copy and you might actually enjoy reading the hard copy, right? There's some psychological stuff to it. So you want to preview the book, and even though this previewing is not like a direct rule that works hook, line and sinker, but sometimes it saves you the stress of, you know, wasting your time to read the book and not enjoying it, or wasting your money to purchase the book that you will not enjoy. So just do a mind play of, after you check it out, finish, drop the book. If you feel like your mind is still going towards the book, then you might want to trust your gut and go for the book, because that's a green flag. Tip number 4 is to try it before you buy it. What do I mean? One thing I'm learning not to do is to buy a book that I've never seen before, heard about, or I've not seen any review about it. Although sometimes it's just difficult. You see a book that you don't even know. You see the title and you're like, oh, let me just give it a buy, right? And I still did it recently for, okay, book is not around me, but yeah, try to read reviews about books and preview the book online before you actually buy the book. And that was actually what made me get this book, because I have been seeing it online. Everybody has been holding a copy, reading the copy, and I'm just like, okay, let me buy it too. I've not read it, so when I do my end of the year book review in December, I'm going to let you know what the book is about. I mean, it's not a bad thing for you to see a book for the first time and just feel like you want to buy that book. There's nothing completely wrong with that. But for starters, you just want to make sure to space, and you're definitely going to enjoy it. That's why I recommend you to check for reviews and preview it before you actually buy the book, especially if you're going to be reading a hard copy where you're going to be spending money to buy the book. Because really, why commit your time and your coins to a book that you're unsure of? It's always best to read a chapter for free. If it slaps, buy it. I mean, I'm not trying to say that for every hard copy book I read a chapter for free. I was simply seeing it everywhere on every Instagram page of book vendors, and I was just like, okay, let me just buy it. So sometimes your mind just gravitates towards a book just because you're seeing it everywhere. The book gut is not gravitating towards the book. Drop the book. Even though the thumbnail of this video says DNF, there is nothing completely wrong with not finishing a book. It is okay for you to start a book, you're not feeling it, and you drop it, especially if you have actually tried being intentional about it, like reading social pages every day. Always remember this three don't force yourself to finish reading it, and don't let bad reviews scare you. Please do well to subscribe, like this video, and put in the comment section the book you're currently reading or the one you intend